So after about 3 years of demolition and foundation building and framing and sheathing, finally getting around to putting the roof on, the finished roof. So kind of walk through the materials and equipment that I'm using to do this and the general process that I'm using. And I'll have several videos on the roofing process showing some detail, like how I'm doing the valleys. This is DIY roofing, so it is not professional roofing, and I figured out a few techniques that I'm using that will make it safer and less prone to error for the DIY type guy like me. So a lot of the roofing videos you see are professionals putting down roofs really fast, and they're really good at it, and those techniques work great for them, but I decided some of those wouldn't work so well for me just because I don't have the skills, and I don't mind being slow because I'm not getting paid. So I'll go over some of those things as we progress through this project. I'm about halfway through the roof project, so there'll be plenty to do still. But first of all, I'm going to just go through some of the stuff I'm using. So starting from the bottom up, we've got first thing we do is we put down a starter strip, and I'm using a peel and stick rolled starting strip, so there's no seams. It's got the glue strip on the outer edge, so the starter strip sticks to the drip edge and the roof underlayment, and then the shingles stick to that. It gives you a nice clean line on the edges. Before you put down the starter strip, you prime it with an asphalt primer. So that goes on the drip edge and on the whatever it's sticking to, the edge trim or the underlayment itself. You let that dry completely, and then you peel and stick the starter roll, and it bonds really nicely. Then after that, we're doing two things on the edges. On the eaves, we've just got your normal drip edge, painted aluminum drip edge, and that's going down on the eave. Can't really see it, but that's where it is. And then on the gable ends, I'm putting a piece of Boral trim. This is a 1x4 piece of Boral trim along the gable ends. And the reason I'm doing that is this is a composite material, man-made material, and it's somewhat similar to fiber cement, but it's much more workable, and it's a lot tougher. It's really a lot like wood as far as working with it, and it's completely waterproof. Like PVC, it's 100% waterproof. It can even be in ground contact. You don't have to, if you're using it for like window trim, and they even have a siding product, you don't have to prime the ends, and you can actually butt the ends right up against each other. You don't have to caulk them. So it's completely waterproof, 100% stable. It doesn't expand and contract as things heat up and cool down. It's workable like wood. It's a really nice product. I think it's the best of both worlds as far as PVC and fiber cement. So this is going on the gable ends, so that gives us a waterproof and stable edge on all the gable ends. And then a couple other flashing details. We've got anywhere a roof butts up to another roof, we're doing the step flashing. So you can see I've got that there. This is probably the only place that occurs on this house. So we've got the step flashing there. And then the actual shingles, I'm using a Owens Corning product. This is their I guess they're top of the line shingle, Duration Designer or something like that. And this color is called Storm Cloud. And I like it because from a distance it looks like slate to me anyway. It's got a lot of different colors in it, and it's pretty interesting visually. And the one reason I chose the Owens Corning product is just they have this this fabric reinforcement embedded in the shingle on the nail line, so it makes it really obvious where to nail it, but also makes it stronger. So I kind of like that, but mainly I like the look, and that's why I picked them. Let's see, a couple other things. Polyurethane roof sealant, using that mainly on the valleys, and I'll go over that when I do the valley, but anywhere else where I need a little extra adhesion, or I need to fill a hole or something because I put a nail in the wrong place. And finally, last but not least, safety. I am working off a scaffold, always. I spent about $500 to rent about 20 feet of scaffolding, 2 levels up, so it's about 9 feet high, and that makes it all so much safer and easier, and for me that was well worth it. I'm also using roof jacks where necessary. This is a pretty short little roof, so I probably won't use them here, but generally when I get halfway up, I install some roof jacks and put a 2x10 into those and work off of that. And I'm also using this little guy here. This is called a pitch hopper, and it's just a platform with a foam pad on the bottom, so it just kind of sticks where you put it on asphalt shingles, and you can move that around, and it gives you a platform for your tools, and you can stand on it. They don't recommend it as an actual safety restraining system, but you can stand on it, and it stays in place on asphalt shingles pretty well. So that is the process. You can see I've got about halfway through this part of the roof. I'll give you some long shots later. So it's moving along. Next time we'll kind of go through the process of laying things out and attaching shingles. So, see you then.